You're more than welcome to.
Alright, let me know if you guys see that on Twitch, because
I have to be on Twitch first.
once again, I am asking you to use your monitor screens because I don't have that.
Log in, and then I need a token. God damn it, dude. Danny, I told him to make the nose extra big.
Oh, good.
Extra.
Thanks.
I told him to make it extra white.
Yep. Okay, good. Glad my notes are taken.
Nobody's gonna notice, Danny.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I'd notice.
You noticed because
Johnson, we got Johnson here. See, nobody cares.
You know what I did not realize, speaking of that, is that in the last Jurassic Park movie, the bad guy is Johnson. It's the same actor.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't watched it,
Yeah.
but I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's a horrible fucking movie. Oh my god.
I am
It
assuming
was so
yes.
bad. Like, I didn't even want to finish it. I was just like, this is garbage.
Big oof.
Okay, everything sounds good on.
Yeah, I switched microphones, so hopefully mine doesn't have all that static.
Yours is coming in clear. I just want to make sure mine isn't too hypersensitive like it was last time.
I should be okay.
No, because remember last time I ran OBS, my mic was like basically picking up any time my cheeks moved or my teeth accidentally clicked against each other. It was like hypersensitive, and Danny was about to drive over and kill me.
Oh, that's right.
So as long as it's not doing that, we're good.
I don't think we
Try
got
to keep it in
this
check.
time.
I like how that's said irrespective of whether or not there's still a noise issue.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Oh,
keep
let
my
me get
murderous
that
rage in check
other
as
thing
always.
up. Hold on for the.
I'm once again asking you to keep your insensate sensibilities in check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually want to do one more test because I don't actually get this much time to field test OBS. So
That's fine.
I'm about to
And
do.
the stream's dead.
Tell me if you can hear me say these numbers. Did you hear me count numbers?
No.
I did not.
Perfect. Okay, that means that mute works. Last time I thought it didn't.
That also means I wasn't listening. So.
Yeah, I was obnoxious enough. You would have heard me.
You'd think that, but Adam's pretty good at tuning you out.
Yeah. That's fair.
Well, it being on my left side helps also. Just from experience. In tuning out other people that I don't care for. Hold on, I'm logging out and logging in and logging out.
So many vote on to paint.
Yep. Whose fault was that?
GWs for not releasing them a month sooner.
That's fair. I would have accepted that answer too.
And you did. No, I'm now at the detail stages. So it's not too bad.
Even worse.
Okay, I hate this new Patreon. Oh, there we go. One, two. We have 15, Danny.
15? Okay, I'll get a random number generator ready for that.
And I'm on the page, so we'll see. Just throw me a number and.
You got it.
You're recording on the squad, right?
Who what?
You're recording?
Yeah, I started like 5 minutes ago.
Ah. It's almost like when I'm learning things, I have less time to be obnoxious.
Oh.
I don't like it. That, and I always forget to update the meme folder.
That's fine. No one's gonna know.
That's like half our listeners. Yes, Derek, we're on time.
Shocking.
What's medical Part D? Or Medicare Part D?
Like in
I
general?
don't know.
Yeah. I got a letter about it. I don't know what that means.
Have you read said letter?
No, because a lot of small letters, and I don't have Medicare yet.
Then I do not know.
Can't say I know either. Sorry.
Okay.
Fat lot help we are.
But we never promised to be anything else.
It's very true.
All right, Adam. Well, whenever
Tell me
you.
at 32.
We're at 32. I think we can
Alright,
officially call this podcast dead.
better people have tried.
I know, right?
Jeff says that means you have cancer.
No, it says D, so not C.
Then you've got
And it didn't say big C.
Big C.
means you got diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
The diabetes.
All right.
Well, at your leisure, John.
Yeah.
I am John. All right, counting us in on. Okay, do you need to get that?
No.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. Tonight we have myself, Adam, and Danny is with us because it's his Voton box. And tonight on the Wheels of Steel, we have Tom.
Howdy.
Useful Tom.
It is useful, Tom.
He's not here every
Unfortunately,
day,
John could not be with us because he lost the paper, rock, scissors contest to manage the Wheels of Steel against Tom. So
That's true. And in his shame, he has retreated to his historical reenactment ways. He swore off of them, but he goes back to them in times of stress and breakage.
Yeah,
time
here
of
we are.
stress. So no John tonight, unfortunately. We do have a bit to talk about. First off, we'll start with my announcement. So for those that know, who have been listeners for a long time, that you know that I play. I also play historical games as well as Games Workshop games, and I play a lot of them, or at least I read a lot of them. And so
Big distinction.
This past couple years, especially with COVID, I developed a game set 69,000 years in the future, where the superhuman. No, it's a historical game. I would never do a sci-fi game. No, it's a. So I created a game, a historical game, and I was able to find a publisher, someone willing to take the chance and publish the game, my game. The game is, and with the help of Danny, Tom, and John, and a few others, they helped play test and helped with the rules. So the game is set in Mesoamerica around the time of the conquistadors landing, so around 1520s, and also pre-Columbian. It's not a very complex game. It's very simple. It's made for ease of use, easy for people to get into, easy to just read and know the general historical context. It doesn't go into too much depth. You don't need to know a lot about the era to play. With the development of some plastic models of both Aztecs and conquistadors, a lot easier to get into the game. There's also a lot of metal manufacturers out there that put out pieces for the game. So it seems like the right time to do it. The game is called Obsidian Empires, and it is put out. It's just went on pre-order this week on Columbus Day, ironically enough, which I don't think the publisher realized.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah.
Well, being Gen X, I still call it Columbus Day until I catch myself, and then I have to call it Indigenous People Day. So, so much like the Bernie Sanders meme, I am once again asking for your support in pre-ordering the game. I have the link in the show notes and on our Facebook page when it comes out. Or you can go to militaryminiaturepress.com, which is where the game is at, and you can pre-order it there. Even if it's just an ebook and something you just download and put it in your recycle bin, I don't care. But just pre-order it, whether it's an ebook or a physical copy. I really appreciate it, and hopefully it will allow me to make more games, whether it's in Mesoamerica or elsewhere.
I will say
As
as
much,
the
huh?
I was gonna say as the resident indie author, I would say that y'all pre-orders big. They help. The more
Yeah.
pre-orders someone gets, the more advertising and push the publisher is going to do for that product, which again means getting it out to more people and things like that. So if you can pre-order, please, it really, 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 really is going to help out them. And also, when you do get it, leave a review, whether you get it through Amazon or whatever, because again, the more you hit that sweet spot of 50 reviews, the algorithm changes and makes your work easier to find. So yeah, pre-order that shit and then drop a review wherever somewhere, just to help Adam out there.
And as the resident schlump on the show, I will say I'm actually not a terribly huge fan of miniature games. I mean, I love history and I love reading about
You mean
history and everything.
historical manager games, or
Yes, historical miniature games. Good clarification.
He was
I'm
like, I
not.
I've been
fucking hate
playing this game
40k.
for
I don't know why.
5 years
Yeah, sometimes I'm
and I
like the,
hate it.
why am I here? I'm painting 70 goddamn Votan models. Duh. No, anywho, yeah, I'm not a big fan of historical war games. That said, part of the I was part of the playtesting and helping them or Adam, come up with, just some notes and background and I did what I could. I think really Danny did a lion's share of work and I'm glad I was able to help out where I could. But for someone who doesn't like it, I actually had a lot of fun. And I'm not even saying that because of this promotion we're doing. Like I legitimately enjoyed it. It was very quick to pick up. It was very fun to play. And it was a quick play too, so it felt like one of those things. You know what? You could maybe get a couple games in, and have spend your evening that way. It was honestly really enjoyable, and as someone who has little to no experience with historical miniature war games, I recommend it to people like me and others.
Ideally, it should play in about 90 minutes once you get the hang of it. At least from our play experience, that's usually around the time how long it
Yeah.
took.
Yeah, when you and I were doing a couple different test games, I think at one point we got through a game in like an hour.
Yeah, depending it depends on the scenario and the armies you're playing, but
Hmm.
so initial armies are obviously Aztec, Spanish, Purepecha, Huastec, and Tlaxcalan, which are more of the surrounding city states around the Aztec Empire. So this go around, no Mayans, no Incas, things like that. Those will come later, or I can easily just do a quick supplement. It's not that fleshing out the armies is not really actually that difficult for armies that used a lot of the same unit types. So
Uh, Pocono Pete wants to know if War Games Atlantic miniatures would be good for the game.
that's where we got most of our miniatures from, to be honest. Um, so I got a bunch of the war games at Atlantic. War Games Foundry is another one. Eureka miniatures, but they're kind of flat because they're kind of older sculpts. There's an eBay designer called Red Copper Miniatures, and they do some of the more exotic units and a lot of the like villagers and the Aztec ball game. They have a diorama of that. It's like a and that one he has a lot of Danny painted some of them, and they have a lot of dynamic poses. And when you get the book, you'll see some of those models in there, and I was really impressed because he 3D prints those, and he also does El Cid, which is, for those that don't know, is the Reconquista of Spain, essentially from the Moors. So he does a lot of that time period and Aztecs. for some reason. Which I find odd. But those models are really good too. He also does a lot of dioramas and things like that. And that's where I got most of my models from over the years. Some aren't around anymore. There's one called the Assault Group that does a bunch of Aztec stuff. Uh, there are some out there. Those are all at 28 millimeter. There are some at 15. Not many, but there are some out there. And if you can find a 3D sculptor, you can do even smaller. The game scales I think I feel like the game scales very well to larger battles because it's not a unlike uh, Games Workshop where it's individual models. It's really just units that are removed that take damage and are removed. It's not one wound, one model. Although you remove models as the unit takes wounds to represent them degrading, but it easily scales up. And if you already have the models in, let's say, a square formation like an old fantasy, you don't have to rebase them or anything. You can still use that block of troops. It's just slightly they just have a pool of wounds that they lose instead of individual models. So,
Mm-hmm.
but but it's made to play fast. Introduction to the era, introduction to wargaming if nobody's ever played before. There are special rules, things like that, but you can play without the special rules and just worry about the modifiers, or you can just play straight out without the modifiers, and it's easy for people to kind of ease into the game. So, but again, I'll have a link in the show notes and a link on the Facebook page to follow for pre-orders, or just go to militaryminiaturepress.com and you can. It's usually out there on the front page, or look up Obsidian Empires when you get there, and you should be able to find it. It comes out tentatively. It comes out on December 1st,
Mm-hmm.
so hopefully everyone will have it before Christmas. Give it
I,
away as a Christmas gift.
I pre-ordered my copy today.
Look at that! What a good company man, Tom.
I'm waiting for my author copy, but that's all right.
That'll be $5 for you, Danny, because you help so much. If you do play historicals or are interested, they also have a few other books that are kind of interesting. They have one that I pre-ordered on how to paint Vietnam models for Vietnam War gaming, and the other interesting one is one that's information about the Ukraine-Russia war, which includes up until I believe May, so like like the first 6 months of the war, and it includes units and the army organizations for each nation. So if you're interested in that, that's also up for sale. Those
It,
come out in next month.
when you said painting armies for Vietnam, it made me just think of like a box set of like tree bases that also doubled as Viet Cong troops. Can be used either
Vietnam
as terrain or troops.
Vietnam has been picking up in terms of popularity lately because there's like two or three rule sets coming out or that are already out, and I know Rubicon models are they're putting out, or they already put out, a Viet Cong and a U.S. Marine set,
Mm.
and I believe they're putting out a U.S. Army set soon of plastics. And they do, if you know Rubicon, they do a lot of vehicles and stuff to begin with. So
I was gonna say I
they're
gotta pick up
very
a Hui.
they're very detailed and very almost like Tayama sets, where there's a lot of detail and a lot of stuff you put in that nobody's going to see except you. So it's so again, just pick up a copy if you can. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I can put out more games, and we'll see. So,
All right.
with that news out of the way, Danny, did you want to do it now? Or you want to do it now?
Oh, why make people wait? When we be like,
You
"Oh,
want to
fuck it,
make
I'm
people
done."
wait to the end?
No, hold on. Let me just do one thing, which is random number generator.
While you're doing that, Dan or Adam, do you want to explain what Danny's doing? As in,
He's playing with his computer.
okay, never
I'm
mind
ready.
then. I was trying to be an MC.
Today we're doing the show with no show notes, which is a rarity. So
Which is hilarious
The
considering
one time
John.
when
Yeah,
John's not here.
that's
John.
why
John hates show notes,
I know.
and the
So
best part
I don't
is
want to do them.
he'll never know about it because he doesn't listen.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
All right, so I I know a little bit after the initial blush is over, but yeah, we have a Votown Army box to give away. That maybe unfortunately the resale value isn't as high as it was once the kind of nerf dropped.
We have to pay you to take it from us.
No, I think still plenty of people want to play dwarves, and if nothing else, it's funny to just say you have it and you have the you get the codex and a bunch of other stuff. So this is a Patreon only. I wasn't here last episode to kind of like shill and be like join our Patreon. So I think we've got our people. You've got our list ready, Adam.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, Danny.
All right, here we go. I've got our random number generator going from random.org. If you don't like that, blame them. And here it is. Ooh, that's funny. Not number. Number one. Who's our
number one?
Wow.
Number one is actually a recent.
Oh, it goes like that, huh?
A recent guy. So it's Joseph Gilbert.
Congratulations,
right,
Joseph.
Gilbert.
So congratulations, Joseph. You get a Voton box whether you want one or not.
Yep. So please message us on the on the TFG page, or you can actually email me too at if you look at the SoCal players packet, my email's in there, so I'm judging it.
No one, Danny. No one needs a player packet.
Believe me, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Anyway,
welcome to my hell the last year and a half.
Send us your shipping info, and I'll ship it out as soon as I can. Obviously, the sooner you get it to me, the sooner I can get the box to you. If you are gonna be a SoCal, I can just bring it to SoCal too. So just let me know. But yay, good job, Joseph. Thanks for throwing a shot in the dark and being like, I'll throw $3 for a month and see if I win. And look, you get a Voton box.
Mm-hmm. This does not.
He's usually pretty active in the group, in the Facebook group.
Yeah, doesn't he have the World Eaters?
Yes, that's the one with the World Eaters.
Oh yeah. I like his stuff.
Totally not planned.
Oh wait, I just realized.
If it truly was planned, my brother would have won.
That's true.
John from Laverne.
And then, yeah.
John from
Tommy would
Laverne.
have gotten more bikes he needed.
Yeah.
Magically ended up with 3 more bikes.
Yeah. Looks like Mommy Talone from Altadena is the winner here.
So congrats. I'm sure we have our usual contest, but I'm also sure we'll have more prizes, especially once Angron and that new sick ass Lord Invoctus or whatever his name is, dude riding the Juggernaut.
Oh, the guy on the Juggernaut that put chainswords on his chainswords.
Yeah, put a chainsaw on his chainsaw.
Yeah.
Or maybe even the new Totes Dark Mechanicus Demon Prince that they teased.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. We may not.
We can definitely bet if it's World Eaters or Nids, or Seraphon, I'll probably get 2 copies of it.
God.
The new Chameleon band and something's coming out.
So all that out of the way. Congratulations, Joseph. A lot's happened since 2 weeks ago. We had the London Grand Tournament. I believe a French player won.
Fitting.
But the big TO story anyway is the fact that a couple players basically got a 0-0 because they couldn't agree on how to do the score, and by couldn't agree, they basically argued in front of the TO who wasn't having any of it.
Good man.
And decided just to give both players 0s instead of trying to figure out what to give the score. So.
Didn't essentially come into a he said, she said type of thing?
Basically. I mean, there was other things going on, but the gist of it in the end was both players had a contentious game. One was claiming the other one didn't do certain actions. The other one said, well, I did do them when they were tallying up their points. And then it's basically like you said, Danny, it's a he said, she said. And so the TO decided just to give them both 0s and move on. So,
I mean,
which at some point is
I didn't know if it's true, but I saw that it was like 45 rounds was like 45 minutes late because these guys would not stop arguing, right? Like
that's why he just zeroed them out and moved on.
Yeah,
because they were holding up the tournament.
Yeah, I think that's important context. That this wasn't like, oh, okay, this is 5 minutes after the round is over, blah blah blah. It's like straight out 45 minutes later, and they're still going at it and not coming to a resolution.
Yeah, I don't know how long it was, but I know it was they were holding up the tournament.
Yeah, that's
So
that's pretty bad.
so maybe the TO let them go on too long, but in any case, at some point you just have to tell them to stop so we can get the day going. I know I've been guilty of that a few times, but not because they're arguing, but just because they're taking too long. It's weird because you want them to finish, and I personally would rather them finish actually playing as opposed to just talking it out because I hate talking it out to a certain extent, especially when you're only on like turn three. If you're on four, maybe five for sure, I would it'd be fine to talk out, but turn three, it's a tough ask. What ends up happening is when you do that, from my experience, is players when you tell them okay, just finish it, and then like finish the turn and then call it. What what the judge might mean is just do what you need to do to score and call it in like 5 minutes. What the players hear is like, oh, I can take as long as I want and just play the whole turn out,
Right.
which they try to do.
Hmm.
So
That's bad. Okay.
yeah, well, yeah, and
I mean, isn't part of the issue too with this that these weren't like two scrubs, right? Or
no,
two like whatever. These were two names, weren't they?
yes,
Yeah, that's even more problematic.
and I think it was like round one or two. I can't remember. But LGT did a 5 round and then did a cut. And then they cut to six. I think it was 16 or 12. It was weird. Every year, London GT does something that's just like what? So they did a cut, and only the bottom like 8 played what they called it a shadow round, but it's actually in BCP, so it's not a shadow round.
Hmm.
And then they played the next round, which was top 8, and played from then on.
Hmm.
It was weird. They
Interesting.
like cut to 16. Half of them, no, was it 16? They cut to a certain spot. About 8 of them had to play an extra round. The other like top half got basically an extra lunch, extra long lunch, and then they all played again. If that makes sense.
It it sounds like they were trying to do something mathematically to like really distance out who won.
Basically, all the undefeateds had to play, and well, half the undefeateds have to play like an extra round. It seemed like
So that way they'd end up with like 9 to 12 pure undefeated for the last couple rounds.
basically take the shadow round from LVO and not make it shadow.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Excel in front of me, so I'm useless.
So and it's weird because then you would see people in the final standings. They would have more wins. They would have one more win than the guy above them, and that's only because they played in that extra round. It,
Yeah.
it was it was weird. And they played from I believe it was Saturday to Monday instead of Friday to Sunday.
I also reject that. Completely out of
I don't
hand.
mind that. I don't mind that as much.
It's
I mean,
just different.
yeah, that's not really
But
that big of a deal.
I don't like change.
Fair, fair. That's a completely fair position to take.
That part's whatever. It's just different days you have to take off to go to the tournament. So that was London GT. Congrats to the winner.
It wasn't a holiday in Monday. Carriquin says that
No,
Monday was a holiday. It was not a holiday in London.
was it? I don't know.
Was that when for like the Queen service, or
Yeah.
they get lucky with that timing, or
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not really keeping track. But and then the following week, this past weekend,
Or maybe it
we
was.
had the Chicago GW event, and that was a typical GW event. We did get to see the unique GW tiebreaker, which was Rochambeau, or as other people know it as rock paper scissors. And the picture circulating the internet was a couple players doing rock paper scissors in order to get into the top 8, top 16.
right?
which included Ben Sherwin, who made it with, I believe, from what I heard, was scissors.
Yeah.
Was his winning throw, which is funny because people
Scissors OP.
people make fun, but there are rock paper scissors competitions. So there you go.
I mean, there's competition in Warhammer, so I don't like again. Competition in anything does not surprise me.
I've told people about the time they caught someone cheating at uh, what's it called? I can't remember the name now. The board game, the train one.
Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to
Yeah,
Ride.
Ticket to Ride
God.
at like a national level or something like that, or regional. I forget. But someone got caught cheating on tickets for playing Ticket to Ride.
Damn, how bad
I was
down do you
about to
have
say.
to be to just like cheat at not only a board game but fucking Ticket to Ride?
Yeah,
It's high
like,
stakes.
good lord.
It happens.
That's
I believe it.
amazing.
I mean,
I mean, at the local con, the airport con, they always have competitions for board games, different board games.
yeah, but like for me, and it's not this one of these like, oh, I'm so much better than people. Blah, blah, blah. It's. I don't understand how you can derive any true joy out of taking a win or a title that you know you did not earn.
Well, I mean, not to wax too much on this, but as I've said, it's not. It isn't true joy because this is. I mean, people don't. Healthy, happy people don't cheat at games to win, right? Like they're looking for the validation of, aha, I won, and it's an unhealthy validation because it's not lasting. It's an external validation, and it's just it's always going to be hollow whether they win honestly or not because all they want is because they just all they want is that moment of like, haha, I'm actually good at something, mom. Fuck you, dad. I'm good at something. It doesn't matter, right? Like it's just it is symptomatic of a much deeper psychosis, an
Right.
issue. So I'm. It's just one of those things that people like talk about, like, well, people won't cheat like this. Like, cheaters are not entirely rational animals, right? Like they're acting out of places of deep personal insecurity or trauma. So like you can't expect them to act rationally. Like, cheating when you're on camera, right? When like you're being streamed, but you're still going
Right.
to cheat your ass off, right? Like it's just it's a sign of again a deeper mental health issue that just if you're listening to this and you have cheated before, unless it was like as simple as, well, shit, there's a decent amount of money on the line. I just want to kind of get this money right now. It's,
Yeah.
you should go talk to somebody, bro. There's nothing wrong with needing help.
Yeah.
We've all been down bad before. It's okay.
Yeah. There's even an online uh, therapy place now or that's really popular and it's growing fast and apparently it's helping people and I will name them by name if they ever decide to pay us to do so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Remember, sponsors, we are whores and surprisingly cheap ones at that.
Yeah. Do you see the lip
Um,
service I give some of our current sponsors? Good lord.
the winner of the GW Open Chicago was Jack Harpster, and I
Was he
believe
fun?
he won with paper.
Oh, okay.
With
Interesting strategy taking paper.
paper.
But I guess in such a rock heavy meta, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. You don't.
It was in their
want
player
ties.
pack.
It was in the player pack, but it's still stupid. Like, it's just there's a game. This like game can handle ties. Like, there are ways to track things for tiebreakers.
It's
That
literally
still
in the
gives-
BCP program.
Yeah, like that still gives players agency, right? Still lets them feel like, well, what I did mattered. It's just, I'm sorry, rock paper scissors. It's just embarrassing.
Did they even do 2 out of
Like,
3?
They did 3 out of 5.
Okay, at least they did that.
I mean, it's still just like, come on. Like, could you imagine how upset you'd be
I'd be pretty goddamn
if you
pissed,
played
yeah.
your ass off? You're like, damn, I've almost made it to the top bracket. I'm almost in the finals. I can do this. And it's like, oh shit. Oh man, I suck at rock paper scissors. Like,
I
come
mean,
on.
if it came down to a tiebreaker and I didn't make it, I'd probably be okay with that than rather getting my hopes up and knowing I suck at rock paper scissors. Would you
Right,
prefer
well,
a
the thing
coin
is with-
flip or a dice off?
No, I mean I think that you should have legitimate tiebreakers, right? Like if you're the way that they do pairings does not allow ties, right? That fucks with their math, and it's just because their bracket
Yeah.
system. I totally get that. If like that's the system you want to use, then you need to factor in of like then we need really granular tiebreakers to make sure that we don't actually have ties,
Hmm.
right? Like it just is what it is, and the fact that they don't really do that, it's like, and it becomes, well, we can just rock paper scissors. All that does is reek of this is a problem. We're too lazy to come up with a workable solution
Hmm.
because it is more difficult to track these things, and we just don't want to do that headache. And if it comes up, it comes up. Big deals in the player pack. People get over it. And it's just like, okay, well, that's fine, but you look like fucking clown shoes, right? Like it just is what it is. Like GW events, they're different, but like this does not make me think of them as overly competitive.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
no,
it's
they're not. I
like
would never consider GW events competitive at all.
yeah, it's just again like ties exist in this game, so therefore you have to plan for them, and there's lots of ways to break ties that doesn't involve rock paper scissors.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I can D4 it.
I mean, hell,
or
even if you honestly Jervising it would
Yeah.
still make more sense to the game that we're playing than
Right,
rock
because
paper
at least
scissors.
game related.
Yeah, it's game related and it's been part of the game for fucking decades.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, does there not a clean solution? Four up it, bitch. Right?
Yeah.
Like, which is still, as I've said before, shitty game design, but it's still at least part of the culture of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is shit, but it's our shit that we've grown up with and cared for.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, it's just, I'm sorry. It really bothered me just because I really feel for whoever lost out of like, well, that sucks. Yes, it's in the player packet, but that doesn't forgive anything. I could put Prima Nocta in the player packet, doesn't mean it's okay. you know?
Well, like I said, the BCP app has tower breakers in there. I don't know why they didn't just use those.
Was BCP working?
I assume it does. I mean,
Um,
it works except when I try to input hobby track.
oh, yeah.
What a
The
nightmare
epic
that
shrill
is.
hobby track.
Sorry, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
But so we also had this past weekend the preview,
Oh, right, yeah.
and we'll start with the order they have online, which is we'll start with Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum, the knee pad edition.
Yeah.
I don't want
KDS
to know why
fans,
everybody needs knee pads all of a sudden.
they're getting old.
They're getting
I
old.
guess
I mean, shit, man. Like, as
OSHA
someone
must
who's
have
older,
like
it helps. Knee pads really help.
the
They
high
do.
lords of OSHA must be like on the rise if everyone's got to wear knee pads and elbow pads all of a sudden.
Yeah, they
Well,
were.
with Gilliman back, maybe he's like, hey, we have these regulations for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he's looking at the plight of humanity and he's like, God, these guys are so badly off. I need to do something to ease their pain. I could have call dedicate. No, I need my legions. Knee pads.
Yep.
Knee pads and
Everybody gets knee
flowing
pads.
khakis.
The the box set is I don't know.
Was it 20 Cadians and some
Yeah,
artillery?
the new
It-
Sentinel.
It's 2 sentinels and 2 artillery pieces, I think.
Those
it
artillery
two
pieces
Sentinels?
are pretty beefy.
They're,
Those artillery pieces look cool.
those are some chonky boys.
They are beefy, yes.
Yeah. They look cool as shit.
Oh yeah.
The Sentinel looks like a Sentinel.
Yeah.
It looks like a cleaner, updated version, slightly bigger. I approve. It's a good.
But I do
Supposedly
like
the
Sentinels.
Yeah.
chainsaw on the Sentinel is supposed to be pretty good, but we'll see.
I
But
do like Sentinels, to be fair. Those were always. I think it's the power loader esque aspect of them from Aliens. Of like,
Oh,
man,
yeah,
these
yeah.
things are
and
cool, so.
the new kit
That's the
allows you
Forge
to
World
build them in the power loader style.
Do they?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
that's
That was
funny.
one of the previews. Not from
That's
this one, but from a previous one.
I mean, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think the models look crisp. I think they look nice. Um, I'm actually really impressed with the Karsakan Kill Team box, which I know I'm jumping ahead a bit.
Oh yeah.
But I
That
mean,
looks
you
good.
know that the brilliance of their timing is they're like, we're bringing Karsakans back. and we're putting them in Kill Team box, and we're announcing they're going to drop all that like the same weekend. People are going to be double buying boxes, or
Well,
at
that
least
box
box to
comes out
box.
goes that box goes on pre-order this Saturday
Oh well, there you go. So they're basically like dipping their toes into. We know a bunch of
instead of
guard
like
players. We know a bunch of guard players who are going to want Carskin squads right now, and this kit set that we've got looks pretty dang cool.
I guess I'd rather have vehicles, like actual vehicles, not a Sentinel
Tank, yeah.
Yeah,
or
We're
artillery.
tanks. We're tanks.
yeah. Where tanks though?
We're tanks though. They showed a bunch of the new models. The new. What's funny is like the whatever that quad launcher thing is. Well, it looks like it reminds me of the quad launcher. I guess I because I already have like 6 of those or whatever, so I got to choose that.
Yeah. Looks
But
cool.
the, yeah, the heavy weapon is like twice the size of a guardsman.
Well,
Yeah.
it should be. I mean that was the thing in the old. I mean it's still in the fluff, but like in the fluff, the whole thing was like it took two. There's a reason it takes 2 guardsmen to operate a heavy weapon squad because it takes 2 of them to lift the fucking thing and move it, right? Like, that's why the Space Marines are always so cool because they're like, we can just carry this on our shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are like way more than that. That's why there's a
these are
3-man
these are
team on
basically
Yeah.
they're artillery. Like they're not even heavy weapon. They're not even squad based heavy weapons. They're artillery.
Yeah, but
Right,
speaking
like-
of the heavy weapon squads, those are getting a resculpt too. I mean, all of those look clean and fresh. New sculpts, new poses, everything.
there. Oh yeah,
For-
the
for
man
all-
portable heavy weapons.
The man portable.
Yes.
Well, they call them the heavy weapon teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, which those look cool. I don't know. I think it all just looks really crisp, nice, and even. I'd be tempted to get it if I wasn't painting fatigued by painting 70 Voton.
I
I
have
love
like
my-
60 guardsmen you can borrow.
Fair enough.
I got rid of my scions, unfortunately.
What do you think of the Mr. Legs commissar over there?
Das legs.
He's fine. What's wrong with him?
Huh?
He
His
wrong
legs
with
go
him?
like 5 miles high.
Hey, maybe some people just got legs. Maybe he had that. Maybe he had that leg lengthening surgery during COVID. So he's got long legs and short arms.
All I know is I like that. It's a crisp, cool model, but for something, maybe it was the paint scheme. It didn't give me that commissar feel. It made me feel like, oh, this is a toned down, more World War II Soviet, maybe German version of a commissar, but like not that typical, like not
Germans
that.
didn't have commissar.
I know,
Okay.
but it kind of looked like German colors styling. But it's very much like. I'm still in love with that old school commissar of like the huge grand coat and like I don't know, like the old school diagrams, visions, the Dawn of War model, and a voice actor like that really captures Commissar for me. This one looked a little more muted, a little
Might
more.
be the paint job.
I think it might be the paint job. I mean, it's a
Because
great
his
model
jacket's not like black, jet black, like
and like
the old commissars.
billowing,
Right.
like billowing, or even like
Yeah.
grandiose. It was very cut, almost like SS or classic Commissar. I don't know. John, the meme game is weak because I keep asking for you to send me updated memes and you don't, so shut up.
John, do you get Wi-Fi at the recreation, the reenactment?
At the camp.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to have Wi-Fi. It's supposed to be
He's
accurate.
hiding. Yeah, he's probably just hiding out in the bathroom or something. Like shit.
It's not about Reddit.
See me.
It's about I don't want to do work, and I give you half the memes you put in to their show anyway. So give them back to me.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
That's true. A lot of the memes he uses come from me.
Uh-oh.
That's a serious
Moving on.
allegation.
Hey, he's gonna come on here and talk shit while I got the wheels. Train ain't stopping.
Ban. You ban that user.
Yeah.
Next, we got Danny's highlight of the preview, which was
Yes.
the what is he again? What's his name?
Lord Invonctus or something like that.
Invocatus.
Invocatus, whatever.
Yeah. So the Lord on Juggernaut, essentially.
Yeah. Lord on Juggernaut coming back.
I was gonna say, Danny, you sound pretty blasé about a model you're gonna buy 6 of.
Yeah, I mean, first off, shut up. Second
He's
off,
out of
that's
line, but
true.
he's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah. 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 Unfortunately. Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful model. He looks cool. Again, the chainsaw on the head of the Juggernaut is just mwah, to me. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, put another chainsaw on there. That's exactly what Word Eagles will do. Be like, oh, what's this gift from Corn? Is
Yeah.
there any space for another chainsaw? There
And
it is. All right, I'm in.
and then Korn smiles and says, "And that was the real test, my son."
Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think the most interesting thing I gleaned from it, though, was that he talks about, in their little coverage of him, they talk about, oh, this guy's perfect for leading a squad of blood crushers or flesh hounds. And I was like, oh, are we going back to the old 6th edition Demonkin Codex, where World Eaters is basically just Khorne demons plus a few unit of Chaos Space Marines?
Well,
'Cause
that's
I'm
the
fine
current
with
one.
that. I'm fine with that. Like, I've got that ready to go. So,
I got that
you
on
know,
tap.
I
Well,
do.
that's
So,
the current rules. You just fill the 25% or the 25% power level with
Khorne
flesh
demons.
hounds.
Oh, I know. I'm just wondering if like they're actually going to put, if they're gonna maybe even expand that rule a little bit or something
doubt
like
it.
that. Make it.
I'm
You're
gonna crush your dreams now, so you don't cry
I know.
later on.
Are you
No,
are
I'm
you
just
thinking
like,
like in the Corn or the World Eaters Codex, there's something that has like maybe a stratagem with the demon keyword that wouldn't just apply to a demon prince?
The only thing I can
no. I
think
mean,
of is if they give him the warp focus.
maybe. Oh God, if he had Warp Locust, that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
All right, calm down. Go change your pants, Danny.
Well, they
It's not.
won't
We don't
because
know
that
that
would be
yet.
good. That would be good. They won't do it.
Bold of you to assume he was wearing pants.
It's true. It's a little hot. Just saying.
So Dan is excited for that.
Yep, sure am. I'm gonna be broke whenever that codex come out. It sounds like
Yeah, we'll see.
2023 as
So
opposed
it's
to
probably the last.
Christmas.
Yeah, the last.
Well, they said 2023.
We got a preview to a new. I don't know. I don't even. I mean, I care only for the fluff, but I don't care in regards to because there's no units or anything in it because they already said, which we'll talk about real quick. This new arcs of danger, whatever it's called,
Oh,
Oh,
where
I
Abaddon
totally
starts
zoned out
giving
about
space
that.
hulks to everybody.
Arcs of
Oh, nice.
Omen,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Yeah,
Oh,
and that's where they showed the what a lot of people are saying are the dark mechanicum.
Yeah.
sure did look like
Demon
Dark
Prince.
Mechanicum.
Yeah,
Sure,
it did.
sure it looks Dark Mechanicum in E.
Well, yeah, not to mention which the video thing is like all screaming binaric and like machinery, like I have a deal for you, I'm evil but robotic. It's like, wonder who that could be.
Fulgrim.
Yeah.
Fulgrim confirmed.
So one thing
Poor
they did
Fulgrim.
state. One thing they did state in the preview was that they heard our complaints about having to look at different books to, for different rules for armies and things like that. So they're going to stop doing that. So there's no new army rules in these campaign books. However,
Great.
however, there is an army of renown in White Dwarf this
Yep.
month's this upcoming
Which-
White Dwarf.
I mean,
Isn't it Necrons too?
Yes,
It's a destroyer cult army of renown.
which has been alleged to have been like done for like a year that I guess they just never bothered to put out. You know,
Is at this
There's
point
a lot of stuff going on, Danny. You don't have time for.
I mean,
you
if
can't
I was
check
gonna play
everything.
Necrons, playing Destroyer Cult would be. I mean, I've got a bunch of the little fucking choppy boys from Indomitus. I would happily run a Destroyer army if I could get a few more cheap and actually make something of all the Necron or the few Necrons I have left that my son bashes around constantly.
I have received letters from the front. It is from our comrade John. He said never again about something, and then he said he's not on the show to rage about rules, and then he's doing the SpongeBob boom thing. And I can tell he's really upset and angry about a lot of things, and I'm just trying to do my part to help him.
Well, he had his chance to be on the show, so
He did,
Sure did.
but just like,
Chose
but just,
reenactment.
yep, and just like high-level competitive GT play, he lost at rock paper scissors.
Yep. I mean,
John
how
is
else?
too busy reenacting as a good person.
That's actually the truest thing we've said about him all night. John is actually unavailable due to a very good thing that he is doing, and none of us are acknowledging that. And you will never
No,
know.
why would we?
I have no proof. He just said
Yeah,
that.
I
I
know.
know, right? I'm not like double checking. Like, oh, are you actually doing this thing?
Yeah.
For all I know, he's
Um,
at home drinking a beer. And he's just like, I didn't want to put up with these assholes today.
Which we would also be like, fair.
Right. Yeah, definitely wouldn't begrudge him that.
Ah,
new Kills Team stuff having to do with boarding actions. Basically, Space Hulk without the Space Hulk.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
fine.
uninterested.
I've seen a lot of chatter. Well, not a lot, but I've seen a little bit of chatter online about people being like, "Oh, this is perfect. Like, this is kind of what I want 500-point games to be." Which is like, cool if that's what you
It's
like.
not what I
Awesome.
want.
John
So
has
yeah,
John has let us know that just like our dads, he's absent when we needed him most.
Why are you
yeah.
reading messages from him?
I don't know,
You
because that
should,
was a
you
bit
should,
and now it's ending.
and I can't even tell if they're the actual messages.
No, it's on the Twitch chat.
I'm not paying attention to it, which is what you should be doing.
I
Which
never
is
pay
what I'm.
attention to
Oh
it,
my god.
which is what he's doing. To
Yeah.
be fair, he's being the man. He's being the man of the people by looking at Twitch chat.
You think I want to do this?
Yeah.
Well, I can't read it, so someone has to.
Why, this rum runner son of a bitch over here. No,
I'm gonna
Hey,
bug
you
that guy
might
for
wanna
my
play
paint
nice to him.
score all day.
You might
all
want to play
weekend.
nice to him,
I don't have
at least
to.
until after next weekend.
Kill Team has whatever Shadow Vault, Shadow something with the Kaiserkin.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Necron Carskin box just because there's a lot of funny memes of the whatever little probe Necrons, the cute little Necron probes, like going like, "Psst, what you doing, buddy?"
Oh, the one that's like on
Yeah.
the.
That's like on the pillar, like just
Yeah.
popping his head out, like, "Hey, buddy, what you
The
doing?"
one
Yeah.
that's creeping around.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cute. Like those little guys are actually pretty cute models, so it's interesting.
I'm all right. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically the
You don't allow
preview.
yourself to have joy like that.
Nothing. I'm too busy trying to get a goddamn book published, Danny.
Uh-huh.
But you did, so.
Now, there's all kinds of extra work that I have to do now.
Yes, there is. It's
Oh.
never just that.
And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. Oh, wait, I did.
Oh, but wait, you did. Yeah. Actually, that's exactly what you did.
I believe that is, what else is there? I think that's it.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it was very underwhelming.
I won't call it underwhelming.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't call it.
Guard infantry. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't play World Eaters. Campaign, don't care. Kill Team,
okay.
don't care. For me personally, it wasn't very.
It's not that it was. It's not that it was underwhelming for me. It was just whelming. I think it was just purely.
It was just meh.
It was no. It wasn't meh. It was whelming. It was like cool, and then like I moved on. Like
Right.
a good
It's nothing
reveal.
groundbreaking.
Yeah, a good reveal is like equivalent to like when they announced the Silent King or any of the Primarchs or Angron as the most recent one, where you're just looking at it and you're like staring at this picture. You pause the video recap and you're like, that is some legit shit, and your
Right.
brain is thinking about it for the rest of the day. And it doesn't even have to be like a Primarch; it could just be like some sweet ass model kit that you really like. Like, so that, I mean, the guard stuff, Carsikins, yeah, that's all cool. I'm all about that. I think guard are gonna look freaking awesome on the table, but and then I just moved on. Like, and then I just didn't think about it.
Well, I don't think the guard are different in the guard models aren't different enough to me anyway to like cause that. I mean, and like I said, the heavy weapons, okay, or the artillery. I mean, okay, we have new artillery.
Not to cause too much of a hubbubaloo, but unless my eyes deceive me, does the new army box have female soldiers in it?
Yeah,
It
do.
looked like there were female torsos and heads.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Maybe.
the
I
new
don't-
supreme
I don't care
commander,
enough.
the new supreme commander of the guard is Ursula
Oh, yeah.
Creed.
Well, yeah, that I knew, but like I'm just mean in terms of the grunts. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I guess, something, because that's something I know people have asked for before, since canonically the guard is, inclusive of all gender identities. So
Yeah.
I was just curious because I hadn't heard a lot about it. I figured I would hear more from various people either celebrating or complaining. But the way when I looked at them, that's what I thought I saw. But
Nah,
again,
that's hard. That's harder to see than skin color. That's why.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely saw that with the other guard thing they had of the not commissar. What's the new character they have?
Oh, the
There's like a new level.
Castellan.
Like Castellan, yeah. People
Oh,
flipping
Castellan.
out because the black guy had a sash and the commissar didn't. And it's like, yeah.
Oh my god.
This is why I
That's
don't.
pretty normal.
This is why I don't go to certain places on the internet. Is because I'm already angry as it is.
Well, I just can't help it. Sometimes it pops up because.
Oh yeah, we know Danny from some of the stuff you send us.
Oh no! I stumbled onto this link typed into my web search history. Oh no!
Yeah, it's yes, that was really funny to watch people melt down without actually like being honest about why they're melting down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not,
Although
yeah.
I don't know, some people nowadays are pretty honest about it, where they're just like, "Why has he got to be black?" It's like, don't know what to tell you, dog.
Wish I could appreciate your integrity there, but just coming out at it. But really,
All right, moving on.
moving on.
SoCal Open's coming up
Yep, sure is.
next week. Tom is going. I am still tentatively going.
Tentatively,
I'm going, but I don't know if I'm playing or not.
So you're not you're actually going. You're tentatively playing.
Correct.
Well, if you're not going to play, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Just bug you and bug Derek with a bunch
fucking
of
play.
questions.
God
If
damn
I
it,
can't
fucking
physically play, Danny, I can't play.
Oh, come on, son of a bitch.
No,
Why
he-
did you do this to
I
me?
can get
I knew
through
you
one
did this to
game. I'm
me.
gonna try this weekend.
No,
to
you
get
chose
through-
to do this to me. You fucked up your eye just to do this to me.
I'm gonna
You're in
see if I can go
indescribable pain
through.
because you wanted to do this to me, and I fucking believe that.
I'm gonna see if I can go through 3 games this weekend
Okay.
at the RTT and see if that is okay. Then it should be fine, and hopefully it gets better by next week.
All right. So here's what happens. If Adam does his test and it doesn't work, then what we need to do is we'll just do some quick makeup on the day of the tournament, and Adam will be Danny. No one will notice the difference.
I don't think I can get that drunk.
He's not. First off, amazing. Second off, he doesn't get that drunk when he's judging. You got cover there.
I'm gonna say get that drunk when he's away from his family.
It'll be more like damn, Adam's hitting the bottle.
No, because he'll get that drunk because I'll be there if I'm not playing to cover for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're there, and I know, like, I could be like, just go ask Adam. I'm just gonna be going up. Hey guys.
Yeah.
I'll
Do
just deflect to Derek.
Oh,
Baptism in fire.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm having issues with my one good eye vision wise. So, which is why if you're looking at the screen, you see me like leaning close because I can't. Everything's kind of blurry. Not everything, but most of it's
enough.
blurry, and it's hard to read right now. So, luckily for myself, and they're still making me work.
Best.
Luckily, I know basically my rules, so I can play my part. But if someone's going to question me on it, and I have to actually read, then it becomes difficult.
Well,
It'll
that's
be
when you
fine.
just claimed ADA. You're like,
It
I'm
was
sorry, I
fine.
don't have to
It'll be
read.
fine. It'll be fine. They can just put me on stream, and then I can just cheat and just claim I'm blind. I can't see, so.
That's true. You can just be my stream judge.
Oh yeah. Although if people do ask me questions, the first thing I'm going to say was just what does it say, and then just read it to me. I'm not going to read it,
Yeah, it's like, I can't read right now, so you have to read it to me now, please.
which is actually a good skill to practice. I think I'm just going to start doing that. You know, when you come up and they ask you they want you to look at the passage. I'm going to say just read it to me.
There you go.
That way they can learn to like read.
Not to mention which you've read enough GW codexes, you'll know if they're making something up.
Usually, But I don't think they would unless they know I can't see.
Well, it's
Well,
not
their
If
like
they,
opponent
if
can still see.
huh?
Their opponent can still see.
True. I know I should have their opponent read it.
Yeah, exactly. Look, either way, it's a trap for someone to try and cheat, and you can catch them doing it. And then,
The other way is I tell people I'm blind in my right eye, which I'm not. I'm blind in my left. So when I walk by the tables, and see if they're cheating on my right side. Should try that next time, next LVO.
diabolical.
But yeah, so I'll try out this. I'll try out this Saturday, play a few games, and see if I can play multiple games one after another in a day. If it turns out okay, then I should be okay for SoCal. If not, I'll probably play and see how far I can go, and then maybe drop if it becomes too much. Because if it's too much of a strain on my eye, I don't want to risk it getting worse. So
All
just
right.
ask to
I
exclusively
guess.
play night players, because then you can see their models.
that's actually
Right.
not the problem. The problem is actually just reading. I can
Yes.
see the models, like and reading the dice. I can. There's dice I can use that I can easily see, so it's fine.
Poker dice or casino
Like I
dice.
fucking hate poker dice. They're
Yes.
all clunky and they fly all over the place. They're horrible. They're not even that accurate. They don't roll as well as any other dice.
They have to be bouncing thing. That's the only way they actually achieve like their
Well,
like optimal.
they're designed for a table that's however many feet a craps table is, and you're not rolling that far on a 40K table.
I mean, you
I mean,
can.
you can.
Okay, show me where it bounces off the wall and that it's supposed to.
Well, no, I mean it's just going to bounce off your opponent's army, but you
Yeah.
know,
It's a
which I
different
call
game.
a bonus. It's like, oh, you're in the contention for best painted. Not anymore.
Yeah. Lucky number 11.
Yeah, so lists are due on Sunday. Why don't you
Yep,
go
there.
through the information, Danny? It's your tournament. I'm talking too much.
Lists are due on Sunday. No new rules that aren't out by Saturday. You know, the usual. So sorry, you're stuck with Votan because it still comes up. If you are going to do Votan, no proxies of any variety except for HQs, right? Like or for unreleased stuff. No proxies for unreleased stuff. Yes, you can 3D print things that are out as long as they match the right size, dimensions, blah blah blah. But you cannot 3D print or use proxies for things that aren't released. The big exception to that are HQ choices because we know how big those are roughly because we have some HQs to base it off of. So that means you can take Grimnir and the whatever. But what else? Yeah, lists are due this Sunday. I'll probably open them up on Wednesday or Thursday night so people can kind of take a look. I'll pair on Saturday. I'm not going to pair before. I'll do a quick list check and just see if I see anything wrong. The spreadsheet's open to ask questions. Questions have been coming in. Please do. If you have questions, ask now. Please, if you have conversions, email me directly at mercutio23@gmail.com. That's mercutio23@gmail.com. And that's just for conversions. Any actual questions, please go through the Google document. Read your player packet. You should have gotten an email from Frontline with your event code so you can get it all loaded up into BCP and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, I look forward to seeing everyone. We will have a special at the we start on Saturday. Before paint judging will be Saturday before the round begins. So get there early. We'll have a paint judging area. Derek will be posted there, scoring everybody. What else? Please make sure you get your paint judged. You get recognition from Derek that you've been paint judged. I'm not going to paint judge unless Derek asks me for help on something, for whatever reason, or to just provide a second opinion. What else? We'll have a brief. I'll have words as much as I can because I won't have a PA system.
No.
But I will have words for people before we get started, including talking about Hayden and honoring him. We do have a special prize this year at SoCal in memory of Hayden. So we have it will be the Hayden Navari, what do you say? A Monster Mash list. So the best Monster Mash list of the event will win something. just to honor his spirit. And oh, there's just from what I've been told, there's there will be the food trucks and stuff set out outside of the venue like
Nice.
last year. I don't think there's going to be any kind of food or drink set up inside the hangar. But with that in mind, you know, you know, right? Like just, I just
I
saying,
don't
like
know,
obviously.
Danny.
Just
Well, I'm just saying I would not ever encourage people to bring their own stuff, but what you do in the parking lot is your business. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, if they're not providing food, I don't know
Yeah,
why they
there
would
yeah,
say
there's no
anything.
food or beverage provided by the venue, so
Yeah, shouldn't be a
yeah,
problem.
keep that in mind, and tip your server, as in your judge who's walking around, as in me,
I'm just gonna bug Derek for my
for your
paint
painting
score
score
and to
constantly.
make sure it's updated to BCP every day.
Cool, you do that. Have fun. Find your bliss.
I'm gonna put that like I'm gonna automate that shit for my 5 different Gmail accounts.
You're gonna bot it.
Yeah.
You're gonna hire some Russian bot manufacturers and be like, here, this is what I need. And you'll be like,
Um,
what?
Frontline sends you an official email. Could you please stop DDoSing our paint judge? Thank you.
So yeah, I look forward to seeing whoever comes.
Tom, what are you bringing for SoCal?
So I am bringing a Greater Thurian League 2,000 point Voton list. In short, it is 6 squads of Hearthkin with all of the possible 5-point upgrades and a Magna Rail and a missile launcher each. I'm bringing 3 squads of Heinrichen Pioneers. 2 of them are 6 stacked with double high-las cannons. One of them is going to be 5 stacked with 1 high-las cannon. And big props to Keith for providing the last bikes I need for that. Or if he doesn't, fuck you, Keith. You're dead to me. Depends on what the outcome of that is. But love you, buddy. Unless I don't. Just depends on what happens. I'm,
Also, Keith, another person keeping me from playing.
yeah, I know, right?
Ah.
Watch,
Yeah, you should be mad at Keith,
he's
not me.
he's gonna show up that
No,
day
I'm
and
gonna
be
be
like,
mad at both of you.
he's gonna show up that day and just be like, I just wanted to hang. I didn't want to play. Um,
God
and
damn, your Keith impression's actually really good.
thank you. I've been working on my impressions recently. Um, Anyway, then the HQ choices are I've got a High Call, who's basically there to be kind of a buff lord. Um, I gave him the High Call Warlord trait, which lets him tag another dude with Grim Efficiency. I have a Einhir Champion, who's my Warlord Hammer Lord. He's got the Relic Hammer and the reroll wounds strat, and this boy Rex in close combat.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know because I can't make charges, which is why I took off the teleport crest on him and gave him back the Weavefield crest. Because I just decided, screw it, all my boys are starting on the ground. If the enemy's gonna attack me in combat, they'll come to me. And then the last one is something I actually came up with quasi on my own. Is the other call has a warlord trait which basically lets him ignore lookout sir, and whenever he's targeting a unit, he ignores all cover, and if that unit has judgment tokens, any hit is an auto wound. So
Okay.
I gave him the combi bolter, threw on the relic, the special relic combi bolter that basically just increases your AP and damage by 1. So he's rocking a 4-shot 2 damage AP -2 combi bolter that at 24 inches can pick off a character if it's judged, which he can do that. So he can just judge somebody, and in the next shooting phase, he can just immediately start popping on them. So figured it'd be kind of helpful for characters that I need to deal with, especially considering I needed to kind of leverage the fact that I was thinking about bringing a Grimnir, I didn't and don't have time to do an accurately good conversion. So decided, you know what, screw it, I'll just play with what I got. Everything will be WYSIWYG.
What's your record with Voton right now?
0-3, but those are all test games where I just say, what if I do this?
Yes,
Oh,
I remember
All
Jeff yelling
right.
at you.
So
he's like, you're losing? I'm like, yeah, I don't care if I win. I just want to like throw crap at the wall and see what sticks.
Okay, so taking bets on Tommy's
I say
record.
Tom will go 3-3.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, so we got Tommy 3-3 vote from Adam. I'm gonna go Tommy with a 2-4.
Oh wow.
Oof, big oof.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to
Which is
pick?
like the total opposite from the last time Tommy went.
I've been consistently 4-2, with the exception of the one time I ran Fire Warrior spam and I went 1-5.
Oof. Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's.
Um,
I would just like to point out that me last year playing Pure World Eaters and completely cutting years off my life, still went 2-4.
am I allowed to bet slash am I allowed to pick something that either of you have already picked?
I
Sure.
don't care.
I'm I'm gonna say I'm gonna go three. I'm gonna go 3-3.
Okay, you're gonna
3-3.
go 500. Adam,
If I
what's your
play,
list?
which I
If you play.
most likely will, but if I play, it's I am taking my Black Legion. I did change it from my normal list. I dropped a bunch of stuff: the Chosen, one of the Dreadclaws, uh, the Obliterators. I dropped 500 points of stuff in order to fit in a Bloodthirster and 10 Pink Horrors.
Hell yeah.
Thanks to Danny's influence.
Yeah.
It's actually worked out fairly well so far.
See? Not crazy.
The Bloodthirster has the it's the relic, I think that
So,
no,
no, it's the Exalted that makes
it's
Exalted.
the
him
Exalted
wound
where he's only wounded on. He can only take 8 wounds a phase,
cap. Yep.
and the relic is no the Warwick.
The relic is Blood Drinker Talisman, which lets him heal.
Yeah,
if he
the
kills
relic
things
is
in
the one
melee.
that lets him get on a 5+. Anything I kill on a 5+, I get 1 wound back, up to a maximum of 6. And then the pink horrors just land on an objective and split when they get shot.
Just don't die.
And they don't die with the new basically all is dust rule from the FAQ, right? If I read it right,
Wait, what?
the armor of scorn.
No, the Armor
It,
of Scorn, that's a relic for Corn. That's,
okay. Oh, okay. That's the armor of corn. Okay.
yeah.
I was mixing it with armor of contempt.
Yeah, no, it's a relic. Although the one thing that you do get with them is if you heal a pink unit, like with the warp table or whatever,
I can't use the warp storm.
you
Because
can use
he's
the generic one.
no, because he's mix matching with CSM.
Yeah, you have to be pure demon army to get the warp storm.
Yeah,
It's not detachment.
do it.
It's army. I
Well,
already looked it up.
the thing with the pink, the buff they got from the FAQ is that if you heal them, you heal pinks and the blues stay. So you can be like, cool, I lost 2 pinks and split into 4 blues, and then I heal them and I get 2 pinks back, but the blues stay there.
That's funny. So you're telling me to run a Zinj army, which I have all the pieces for, except for a Lord of Change.
I mean, you could do just a supercaster greater chicken instead of the bloodthirster if you wanted psychic output. But
Nah.
yeah,
I like having 2 models that have a
have
wound
wound
cap.
caps. Yeah, it's
I think
good.
it's
Which
hilarious.
is why.
As someone who's going to be doing that too.
Ugh,
Although I'm more splashing Abby into my demons as opposed to splashing demons into my Black Legion. That's
it's
what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. The rest of the army, for those that don't know, is Abaddon, Terminators, and then Abaddon, Master of Possession, and the 5 rubrics are in the Dreadclaw.
Yeah, Dreadclaw.
And then I
hate
have the
Dreadclaws.
Veilbreaker plate on a Sorcerer and Terminator armor to go with the Terminators. So all
See,
that
this all
drops
seems
turn
fine.
1. In addition to the Bloodthirster jumping 12 inches to wherever he needs to go.
12 plus
Scary
D6.
Huh?
You mean 12 plus D6
Why?
for the bloodthirster? Well, he's going to advance, isn't he, on first turn?
It depends. Because I
Why
can't,
would you?
except for a couple of deployments where you're 18 inches away instead of 24. Yeah, I'm not gonna make
Yeah, so just advance him.
the charge.
damn. I'm
So
getting.
far, huh?
Oh, I was gonna say I'm getting roasted in chat. This is this is relevant to your list. Jeff says I'll go 2-4.
Thanks,
He
Jeff. See?
he said you're going 0-4 and dropping.
Oh, for a drop.
and
Oh,
then
that's a spicy meatball.
Nah,
KR Quinn.
I'll win one because once I lose like 2 games, I'll be at the
Yeah,
bottom.
sure. You go to the kiddie pool.
KR
Yeah.
Quinn says you're gonna go 3-3 unless you play me, in which case you go 4-2.
Is
We've already
KR is
played
KR
once.
going to be there?
I think so. He was there last year. KR, are you coming this year with your
Come
demon
holler at me, man.
bullshit?
Just saying, come holler at me then.
No, he's
KR.
not coming.
No, fuck.
So I've played 3 games with the list. I did a game with Tom, uh, which we sort of discussed.
Hmm.
Um,
Tom
I
getting
played
rickrolled.
against. I played my league game
More
against
like not
Grey
making any
Knight.
of my key charges.
Well, there was just one key charge.
Yeah, which which
But
means I already lost.
but even then, now that I think about it, even if you made that charge, that's basically because you only move 5 or 8 or whatever. The rest of my army just moves away from you.
Well, remember, all I have to do is spend 1 CP, and my 5-inch moving Einhir can zip 17 inches.
And still charge.
No, but I can still move. I can still motor if I
But
need
I
to.
can
I'll
move.
just charge. I'll just charge you with Abaddon and just kill you.
I.
Abaddon's my answer for everything
That's true.
until he dies.
Yep.
I did play Tom in that week. That one went. Basically, I hit a flank and turned it, and that was basically the game.
Mhm.
Tom missing the charge. I played against Grey Knights, which I did go first. I did kill a unit with the Bloodthirster, and he barely died to 2 Dread Knights because I failed one save with a reroll. If I had made that save, he would have survived and probably murdered both Dread Knights. But I ended up winning that game because Abaddon went around and killed 2 Dread Knights and like 2 or 3 different strike squads. Abaddon just went on a killing spree in that game.
Killing spree.
And
Like
then
we were both there.
Yeah, nice.
and then that one I won only by about 10 points. I actually thought I was going to lose that game, but and then I recently just played Bobby against 10 Lehman Russ tanks and some mortars, and that's another one I won by 10 points. And on that one, I just hit his center and went from there. And in that one, I killed 7 out of his 10 tanks
Oh Jesus.
with one dying to psychic. And then Bloodthirster basically just took fire. That all it was just a fire magnet, which was fine.
Are you saying Adam went on Kilimanjaro?
Oh God. Okay.
I don't even know that makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's Halo 3, dude. Makes perfect sense.
Be quiet, man.
No.
So
This is my time.
Abaddon,
So I'll be over soon. Shh.
Abaddon ended up
Tears only
killing,
dreams.
Yeah.
1, 2. I think he killed 4 tanks over the course of the game.
Jesus.
4
Abby.
out of the 7 were killed by Abaddon. 1 was killed by psychic, and the last 2
Bloody
I
hell.
believe were killed by. I think the Terminators killed 2 more.
Fair and balanced Abaddon.
Fuck yeah! Even if they increase his points, depending on how much they increase it, but I'm still going to take them.
It just makes me excited that I know they're going to do Gilman right. I just know that they're going to get that right. I feel it in my
Keep telling
bones.
yourself that.
I feel it in my bones.
I'm sure he'll be fine in 10th edition.
Yeah, because that's when we'll basically get the Ultramarines
So,
book. Good lord.
Basically, I probably shot my wad during the test games instead of the actual tournament. So the pinks have actually been pretty good. They tied up. They didn't really do anything to you, Tom, because we stopped before turn 3,
Yeah.
and they would have like held an objective or something.
I was never going to even try to deal with them. I just looked at them and I
with,
was like, nope.
With the Grey Knight player, they actually lasted a long time because they kept on splitting. He eventually killed them all, but it took forever. He said they were just annoying, which is fine. And then with Bobby, I just used them to surround one of his tanks and just keep it pinned where it was at. Because if he shot at my guys, they were just going to make more of them, and in combat they can't do anything. So that's all they did in that one, which I thought was pretty funny. But It's funny because I always take behind enemy lines now, and I've scored almost 50, I think the lowest I scored was like 14.
Jesus
pretty
Christ,
good.
really?
Well, because I'm in there turn one.
That's true.
If I go first, especially if I go first, I'm in their deployment zone turn one. And then depending how they respond, I have at least 3 or 4 units already in there, and they're usually more than one unit in there every turn. Especially if I have the upper hand, or they start moving away from Abaddon, which means they're not trying to kill him, and he's just hanging around in their deployment zone. Or they give me enough space. I clear enough space that I can deep strike other units in. Because I have Raptors and the Pink Horrors in deep strike.
Yeah, it seems good.
So far so good. We'll see. I'll probably fuck it up during SoCal and go 2-4 again, like I always do, apparently. So
Watch Adam go like 5-1.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be there for it.
Just his hell, is he's like, I don't want to play anymore. My body hurts, my eye hurts, but I'm in the finals.
I know, right?
And or it's funny
Just play
too.
rock. Can I play rock paper scissors?
Yeah, no, right.
And
Please.
and it's one of
The
those things
doctor's
where it's because his eyes fucked up that he didn't see something that if he had seen he would have normally not made a decision, but because he didn't see it, he made the decision and it was actually the right one.
Right. Saves him from making bad decisions.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, I think it's getting. I feel like it's getting better, but we'll see. We'll see by next week.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I'm looking forward. I'm gonna have a great time.
Yeah, me too.
yeah. You know, so then after SoCal, there's a big announcement, so we'll see what that is.
Mm-hmm. And then what's the next other big tourney for us locally besides SoCal?
We have the tournament in Veterans Day weekend at the store.
Game Energy, right?
I will be hopefully playing.
I will be hopefully playing as well.
So
What day is that?
I don't know what the name is. They keep on changing the name every year. So
Veterans Day is that the
Veterans Day.
second
It's the
weekend of
Veterans
November?
Days weekend.
it's the 11th, so it's the 12th and 13th. That's the weekend.
Probably not, but maybe.
Hopefully playing that and actually playing my Corn Demons.
No, you're not getting that till December.
No, well, I mean, him.
Well, you have plenty of demons, so
I know
just
I can
play
play
that.
Corn Demons, right? Like with
I think he
Abby,
meant
of course.
demons.
Yeah,
demons with Abby.
yeah, Demons with Abby.
Unfortunately, Abby doesn't have a warp focus.
No, God, if he had more focus. it'd be so
If you have
fucking
warp
fun.
focus, I just put the Bloodthirster in deep strike every time.
Yeah. Well, if he had Warp Locus, I wouldn't bring the Morbius. I'd bring Scarbrand instead and just deep strike him off of Abby.
Oh yeah, because he has the no invulnerable saves.
Yeah. And
Which is
makes
key.
people not run away.
Yeah.
And locks people in combat. Also
too
super
funny.
good.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, her locking people in combat's good.
Oh yeah, so we have that. After that, I don't think there's anything else locally. I think the next thing is LVO.
Yeah. The march to LVO begins.
So after SoCal is our traditional LVO prep for the judge team. After that, we should be releasing the annual Salty John video for everyone. Right now, I believe there's close to 1,200 people signed up.
Jesus, too many.
So
Go home. Get jobs.
remember the first time we judged? It was only like 300.
Yeah, that was huge. That was still one of the biggest events ever. And we were just like, oh my God, there's so many fucking people here. Little did we know. That was also before BCP.
No, that was the first year they did PCP.
Oh, that's right. That was Yeah, we were just like, oh my God.
We were praying it worked. It actually worked that first time.
More or
And
less, yeah.
For first round.
Yeah. More or less, yeah. It did what it's supposed to do.
It worked last year. They just had to monitor it while we worked.
Well, to be fair, they monitor it every year. It just didn't fuck up just catastrophically last year. We had enough problems. We didn't need BCP.
Didn't need no help.
No.
So
we
everybody get ready for LVO. It should be
yeah.
spectacular, as
didn't. Hell
always.
yeah.
I don't think we'll need mass, so we don't have to worry about that this year.
No, that's never coming back. Sorry.
Straight
Whether
up.
they need them or not,
I
it
want to
doesn't
bring
matter.
it back just so
Yeah.
we can have the same excitement we had.
No, I was the one who had to kick that dude out, man. That was not exciting. That was annoying.
It was exciting for me.
You weren't even there.
I was right there watching the whole thing.
I didn't notice. I was too focused on him of like, oh man, is this guy about to have like a fucking psychotic episode?
Well, you were closer. I was further away, but
Well, yeah, because I was the one kicking him out.
Yeah, well, great. I should have recorded it.
You should have. Especially my just it was involuntary. That slipped out of me where he's just like, "That's right, brother," ripping off his mask and just staring him in the face and just looking at him and just with all earnesty in my soul, just being like, "Dude, don't do this to me. This is so annoying. Don't do this to me."
I ain't got time for your shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then the games began.
So yeah, so LVO prep. Hope to see everybody there. Be good to see everybody.
Oh yeah. We can continue overusing the "I haven't seen you since the plague" joke.
God, don't start, please.
Oh, I still say it. I don't fucking care.
Just don't say it around me. Again, Kicker's been teasing a big announcement after SoCal Open, so I look forward to that. See what it is. We can discuss. Because after LVO, the new season starts,
Mm-hmm.
so we get to do it all over again.
Thus,
Forever.
one must
With
imagine Sisyphus
Cherokee
happy.
Open being the next one, which I'll be at. I already told
I
Kicker.
want to
I'm
go to
going.
Cherokee Open. That seems cool, even if it is a hassle to get to.
It is. It was a lot of fun. I was surprised how much fun I had at the event, even though I wasn't playing.
Right.
It was the view was nice. The people were nice. The venue was nice. The food was outside of the venue was okay. Which I forgot. One of the tricks is when you because we went to like a Mexican restaurant out there,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't cook it for Mexicans.
Right.
So I
So it's
forgot
bland
to
as
tell.
shit.
So I forgot to tell the waiter to tell them to cook it as if they were cooking for their family,
Right.
which is a different way of cooking.
I mean,
it's
that
a
might have
trick
been a
I
very
learned.
confused white dude in the back. You don't know. I don't cook for my family.
That's not happening.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Which is a trick I learned. I forget who told me that one. I think I heard it somewhere. If you go to a Mexican restaurant and you're from Southern California or Texas or New Mexico or any of the Southwest, or you just like Mexican food, you can sometimes ask the waiter to cook it, to ask the cook, because they're most likely Hispanic, to cook it as if they were cooking for themselves. Which means they cook it because they cook it very differently than when they cook it for the general public. I know I would. So, but looking forward to that, and then and that's as far as I know because I don't know what Kicker has in store for the rest of the year. So
Mm-hmm.
that guy's always planning something. Always cooking
Part of
something.
the hustle.
Yes.
The hustle never sleeps.
No. So Danny,
Yo.
I believe just a reminder, we do have the haiku contest. I'll put up a post next week or sometime early next week of the full rules. We don't have the prizes just yet. We're still figuring out what to give out, but it's basically our annual haiku contest. Starts in October, runs till the end of the year. What this year's theme is 40K dad jokes. So if you have any, just send them in to tfgradiopodcast@gmail.com. And in the subject, just put haiku contest and we'll know what they are. And at the end of the year, we'll pick our favorites and those will be the winners. And we'll let you guys know who won. In addition, we have our sponsors who will help sponsor some of the prizes, which is Hammerhead Games. You just go to hammerheadgames.net or you check out the Shark Tank on Facebook where they have all their sales and what came in and what they have. They sometimes have a lot of flash sales, and they ship to wherever you are if you need something. Our other sponsor is Gameology Games. You just go to
What a great
gameologygames.com. Go to their website.
Best
They
web
also
store.
ship to wherever. They may have something you're looking for that's your other store may not, and they'll just ship where you're at. So if you happen to be in the Old Town or in the Pasadena area, head down to Old Town Pasadena. Just head to the store there.
We're there every Tuesday.
And Tuesdays are 40K nights, and usually one of us are usually there playing, or just painting, like Tom was frantically painting Voten, little guys for his army.
They're actually
So-
starting to look really nice.
So you can come by and visit, and you can see Tom's Votan. And
Botan. Why are we saying it with a southern accent? Botan, get down here. Get over here. This isn't.
I don't know. You let go of my Hecaton Land Raider Fortress.
Botan, get down. Get down now.
Oh, that's a grudging for sure.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a grudging.
So just come by on Tuesdays and take a look, or just come by. You don't need to go to see us, but it make us feel really good. But just go by and check out the store. I think you'll enjoy it. They're very friendly. Place is actually pretty clean. It doesn't smell like food, even though you can eat there,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
And
but,
also surrounded by great restaurants and bars of all varieties.
Speaking of food, there are a lot of good restaurants, pubs, places to eat there.
Craft.
Yeah.
It's a sight for the eyes.
A lot of feasting to be done.
Of all
Yes.
varieties. No matter what your flavor.
We're still talking about food, right?
Sure.
Green Street has been known to satiate many appetites.
There's even a cigar.
There's a
Shop.
cigar lounge shop
Yep.
right across the street. Caddy corner.
Yep, it's really good.
So anyway,
So-
yeah, check it out.
Check it out. If you also want to listen to other podcasts, we are part of what we call the podcast Grand Alliance, which includes us, TFG Radio. It also includes Pod Save the Imperium if we ever do another episode.
Yeah, well, John went back to school, so
Yeah.
He can do it. It's fine. It's not that hard.
Pod save the Imperium. It's gonna be our follow-up.
John can do it while he's listening to his class. It's not that hard.
it's true.
Cut and paste.
Yeah. We'll just have to correct him when he's talking about why the Alpha Legion invasion into Pluto didn't make sense, and then all of a sudden it becomes the Battle of the Bulge.
It could have been there. Now we're off track.
We have Party at the All Points. If you like
hold
Age of
on.
Sigmar.
if you want to listen to Age of Sigmar, you listen to Party at the All Points with Dayton and company. If you want to listen to the 40K scene in the Midwest, which includes Ben Sherwin, who was the rock paper scissors winner to get into the top 8, you can listen to Flying Monkey Board Gaming Podcast. And I believe that's it. I don't think we have.
Oh, we got one question from the show, from the Facebook. I just checked.
Oh,
Because
we
that's
do?
what Tom should have been doing.
I only have so
Patreon
many
question.
screens. Okay.
Which is one.
This is from Dan, not me, but from Dan.
Okay.
Think we'll see a data slate this quarter?
I'm pretty sure we'll get a data slate right before SoCal because GW likes to do that to FLG.
Yep. Or before LVO.
No, they'll do one they'll do one before the end of the year or before
tech-
LVO.
Technically, we had a data slate already for Votan, I guess.
No, they've talked about the data slate coming soon.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out. Yeah, watch it. It's probably going to be like 2 days before SoCal, and I have to tell people like, sorry, we're not using this since Saturday is the cutoff, or really it's Sunday. After if it doesn't drop on Saturday, we're not using it.
Whatever. I'll only complain if it would have benefited me.
Yeah, I know, because this is America.
Yeah, yes, because
This is America. Woo! This is America. Woo!
Got my data slate all right.
So, I don't believe we had any questions in the Patreon. I checked earlier.
Pocono Pete wants to know if we guys do a book club.
Oh,
Did we talk
no,
about Gates of Eternity?
we haven't yet. No, I
Not
haven't
yet.
Did
read
you
it
read
yet,
it?
so
Did you read it, Danny?
I have not. I can leave if you really want.
Do you care about spoilers?
No, I'm like immune to spoilers.
I don't
Okay.
know how that works, but okay.
Uh,
I just don't care. Like
Oh,
I can know the ending of
okay, so
something. I'll
then the
still read
answer
it.
is yes. You don't care about spoilers.
okay.
Yes.
So we can do it because I read it. I know John is in the middle of reading it.
But he
And
won't listen to this, so it's fine.
Tom. Well, Tom, you read it, correct?
I did read it.
Okay. What'd you think?
I thought it was a great book. I thought it started out kind of slow at first, but then it really started to pick up steam pretty quick. And
Mm-hmm.
additionally, it had some scenes that I never thought I would have read. Like specifically, how they portrayed Sanguinius during his time on the wall. Um,
Okay.
uh, his speeches there. The final depiction of Latara Satrin was
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
incredible.
my girl.
Her story arc in that book is phenomenal. Um, and I really like what they did with Ark and Land, where they basically showed how he definitely learned a lesson, but then he's also still an arrogant prick, and like is the same way he is. Like we we all learned something we did. We all learned something today, and
Yeah.
then he's also like, no, we didn't.
Yeah. I enjoyed the book very much. It tied up a lot of character arcs slash
hmm
storylines, um,
Also
especially
shows
since
you,
we're getting towards the end of the book
yeah.
or the end of the series.
It also finally shows you the fate of Karn, although it's not, as we know, the final fate of Karn, but shows you a fate of Karn.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, we have to talk about that off air
Okay.
because
And it
that
also,
it
and
it does and it doesn't.
it doesn't. And I will also say, um, there's all of these, Primarch internal monologues, or like a chapter from the mindset of the Primarch. So it's the narrator, but taking on like kind of a third person. What is the Primarch thinking, and how is he thinking of it? And what they did for Magnus and Angron was perfect. Like the reveal of mentality behind Magnus and Angron in their own separate distinct chapters was perfect. I loved it. I loved it so hard to the point where I had to go back and reread it because I'm a fast reader. I was like, wait, did I just read what I thought I read?
Did did you so this is your favorite book so far?
Um, it's it's my favorite in terms of it's my favorite that I would take pieces out of it.
Okay.
Like it has my some of my favorite moments, if not my favorite moments in the entire siege. I think that my favorite book is I think it's the first one where it's the beginning of the siege and it's all this preparation and it's from like that like those first initial moments. I think it might be that one or it's when
You
it's the
mean
or it's the basic or the Iron Fist versus Iron Warriors when they're fighting over Lion Spaceport. That one was
the
really good.
first wall?
Yeah.
Anyway, I zoned out. What?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. The some of the character stuff, tying some of the loose ends or some of the storylines of some
hmm
of the characters was both gratifying and sad.
Yes.
I think I still prefer Saturnine.
Saturn. That's what it was. Saturnine. I loved Saturn. That's my favorite.
I think I prefer that one as still my favorite. My least favorite is still Mortis, by the way. That's the Titan one.
I know you gotta love Titan. I mean, you need to tell stories about Titans, and they're always good, but you gotta love Titans for the Titan books to be your favorite books.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not bad, but if I could fast forward,
Yeah, I fast forwarded a lot of that.
or if I could, if it was one of those things where it was like, man, I would. This is when I really don't want it to be a book. Like I don't mind hearing the story, but I don't want to put the effort in of my eyes reading this. I just want to be
Yeah,
told this
that
information.
yeah.
You know.
That is one I wish I would have just done the audiobook instead. Instead, I did the audiobook with this one, and it was fine. But
Hmm.
because it's just trying to get the book is just insane at this point. So anyway,
Play games, be nice to each other. I gotta go. Peace.
All right. See you, Danny.
so I don't think there's anything else. Tom, you see anything else
Uh,
in the
n-
chat?
no, I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Tom, you have any last words?
If I go 5-1 with this list, that's proof that Voton are still broken.
You're not going 5-1.
No, I know. If I go 5-1, it'll be through the hair in my chinny chin chin.
Well, thank you for everybody for listening. Next episode, I believe, will be right after SoCal Open. Once again, don't forget, if you can, please go to militaryminiaturepress.com, and if you can, pre-order my game. I'll also have the link in the show notes and a link on Facebook in the next day or two. Again, thank you for listening. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Bye bye.